Who knew that owlets hold hands? Or should I say that they tangle talons? They need to be as careful as if they were shaking with Edward Scissorhands, because if one of them hiccups at the wrong moment, his buddy's belly could end up scored. They don't seem much concerned, though, about those sabers that can't be sheathed. Even when one of them uses the talons or the hooked beak to emphasize a point, nobody holds a grudge about it. They take turns bending over each other's feet, cleaning each other's talons. It's the same sort of thing a cat owner sees his pets doing with their own hunting equipment, pulling each claw through the teeth. And, of course, cats groom their fur, as do owls. The grooming starts in infancy, when the nestlings, too young to do it for themselves, depend on their mother to preen their fur. No, those are feathers. Furry feathers, yes, but not fur. A few months down the line from that point, though, when they have little twiglets where the horns will be, their fuzz is almost gone. Aside from a bit of fluff around their facial discs and the back of their heads, the rest of their plumage looks as lush as any adult's. It's enough to make you wonder if squeezing that intricately barred plumage on their backs between your hands would feel like squishing a pillow. The underside does look that fluffy. Well, if they're fluffy, it's a fierce fluffy, because by now these two are probably feeding themselves quite a bit. They're not on their own exactly, but mostly so. The parents continue feeding fledglings for something like 6 to 9 months, because learning to control those 5-foot wingspans precisely enough to grab a mouse, that takes time. So the owlets need adult help for at least 6 months. These two youngsters look like they're between 4 and 5 months old. It's too soon for them to find a mate, but they still like to be mothered. So they trade favors with mutual grooming. The term for that is allopreening, and it's not restricted to great horned owls or even just to birds. The one on the right is preening the other's face for him, or trying to. His sibling is more interested in a bit of play fighting. So they do both. Call it kissy face fighting. When that subsides, they're in no hurry to let go. The left-hand owlet hangs on while he preens himself. Then they stay twined together, companionably, as each one cleans its own talons. They're strong enough to balance on one foot and hold hands. A month ago, if they had tried that, they'd have wobbled like a butterfly on a thread. This pair showed up in the dead sycamore at the back of our yard for the first time during the last week of June, and at least half a dozen times during the next 2 weeks. Most of the time they showed up singly, and we heard them calling every evening to beg the parents for food. One day in the not-too-distant future, they'll have no interest in each other anymore. And sometime after that, those squawks will turn to hoots, and they'll go looking for their own territory.